Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
How are you?
I'm getting over something.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
Well, it's better to get it over with now than to
Have it for
be knocked
Christmas.
down. Yeah, exactly, right.
Yeah, no, I get that. I get that. How are you today though, other than
Huh?
getting over everything?
Not bad, not bad. It's
Nice.
working through what day is it? Wednesday morning.
Don't even know what day it is.
I
That's
know.
how you know you're in real estate.
Uh, yeah. I actually had a dream last night, I think, that I was off somewhere. I didn't know what day it was. So I was like, oh man, that must be nice. Those people are like, what day is it? Like,
I know being retired life, like it doesn't
yeah,
matter.
it
It's the
doesn't
same
matter what
shit.
day it is.
So
Every day
funny.
is an off day. Every day is an off day. Does it really matter what day it is?
Exactly, right? So
Yeah.
funny.
How about you? How you
But
been?
good, good, good. Our agent locator leads have been great.
Um,
We've closed a bunch, me and my team, and then a lot more people are starting to come through the woodworks. So that is really great. So yeah, like I mean, now's the time to touch base with people. Yeah, maybe people might not be selling or buying, maybe they are, but I mean, all you need to do right now is touch base with everyone so and build that relationship so that in next year when they're thinking, they're ready to go. I had
yeah.
someone on my list that came on 2 years ago. She's been
Hmm.
getting the daily list, like connected with her, obviously, got the daily list, all that stuff. The lady lives in Brantford. She wants to move closer in Clarington to her daughter. And she emailed me after a little bit and said, "Hey Nick, I'm actually going to be in the area. Can we go for coffee, meet, all that stuff?" And then, now she's hot. She was thinking of going into the spring, but now showing her what's out there, she's now, hot to trot. So I think we have a property that she wants to put an offer in. So what I'm trying to explain is that it all happens so fast.
Hmm.
We get so caught up in what we want to do day to day. Yes, I know. We want to pick up the phone, we want to do a deal. I get it, right? But remember, like to go further with these leads, you need to build relationships. And
Yeah.
not everyone's going to do stuff with you. That's fine. The whole
Yeah.
point is that you're finding people that want to connect with you.
Hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think even on our session yesterday with Tara, she said the same thing with her leads are stirring right now. There's definitely a lot more activity.
Yes.
So something's definitely shifting with
Yes.
those leads. So even if they've told you,
Whatever.
next year, whatever they've told you, it's a great time to just reconnect with them because things have changed, right? So, things
100%.
shift and we never really know when that's going to actually happen for them. But right
No.
now it seems to be, I think it's the anticipation of a busy market, perhaps that, coming after in the new year that has people thinking that maybe now is the better time to buy before, before everyone floods the market.
Yeah. I'm starting to feel like there is a little bit of a shift happening. We are seeing, I think I'm seeing a little bit more of, prices increase, but not like
Hmm.
crazy, maybe a 1% or something like that. But
Yeah.
we are seeing a lot of things moving both on the low and high end. I mean, there was a
Hmm.
listing in Clarington that I went out with one of my agent locator leads. It was on Main Street. It literally listed literally 24 hours at, $1 million. We went in like less than 24 hours. We already went in. There was four offers and it was sold for a million, so 110K over asking.
Well,
So
well,
depending on your marketplace, right? But things, in my opinion, are heating up, especially if you're here in the GTA. The GTA is usually busy. I'm finding that York region is doing okay. Peel and Brant, like Peel region and stuff. I feel like a lot of prices have fallen down. People are not selling because they're not getting the crazy price points. But the best part is if you're a Durham agent, is Durham is the cheapest and gives people the most value. So I'm finding more people are relocating over here because, if they can, it's cheaper
hmm.
in terms of house value. Yeah, I understand that if you're traveling downtown or whatever, then it is what it is. But I find that most people who are here, they're not really traveling downtown. Obviously, some
Hmm.
people are, but I'm not really.
Yeah. Yeah. And some people will still make the commute, right?
Yeah,
It's I feel like Ontario is like the place where there's so many places you live that just it's like commute is just part of your day. Right? It's just a
100%.
matter of where you're commuting from and how long that's going to take you.
100%.
So,
100%.
Um,
Well, I would love to know if there's any objections anyone's getting, or if you guys are feeling the same thing. Now
mm,
is a really good time to raise your budget if you can.
mm,
Just because that's what we're doing. Just because now people like agent, you got to think of your competition. Your competition now is like, okay, December's here, they're not going to work. So now's
mm.
a really great time to outwork your competition to make sure that next year starts strong.
Yeah, it's the time of year where a lot of people are either dropping their campaigns because they feel it's pointless, or they're lowering their budget.
Yes,
So if you have that ability to, if you're even not even on lead generation yet, to start it so that your algorithms are like fully set come the new year, and you're already ahead of that wave. Or like again, you're capturing those prospective buyers that maybe will looking to buy now, or if not, consider in the spring, right?
100%.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd love to know what success is everyone else getting. I know Jody does really well. Donata and Murtaza and Prasath. I don't know how you guys are doing. I know Jody's a superstar. She's in my office. So how are you
Do you
guys
have,
finding it?
yeah, how are you guys finding your leads currently in the system? Are you noticing a shift in activity even in the system? More people like browsing, or those ones that haven't been looking all of a sudden coming back on and starting to look at the listings you're sending them? Or are they just more like, in general, if you are reaching out to them, are they seeming to be communicating a little bit more than they used to be?
Yeah. I think also too, I think we forget, and this is what I've been coaching my team about, is I think we forget about like how much people can also refer. Like maybe that lead is not interested at this time, but
Mm-hmm.
maybe, your leads that have been in there for a little bit, um, maybe they're kids. So I'll give you an example. I got an email from one of my leads that's been there for a very long time, and she bit on my newsletter. So just showing, she came through on our newsletter. And she literally, I'm just going to share screen just before I get to that next person. But hey, good morning. Could you send me whatever, for my daughter and her boyfriend looking to purchase their first home?
Mm-hmm.
Giving me all the stats. Already hooked on whichever, and hopefully getting them out there.
Yeah.
But just remember, you don't know how far one lead can go. And I'll give you an example. I had a lead that came in last year. They purchased 4 homes in 2 years with me, referred me their daughter, and they're still buying property.
Yeah. Yep. You never know. You
You
just
don't
don't know
know,
what one person has,
right?
Yeah.
And the mindset, and just before we answer, the mindset that I know that my team gets sometimes too, especially my newer agents, is oh, they feel like, okay, so what would I say if I was like, not really looking or not really interested? I go, the problem is that you're thinking that they're not interested. Yeah, maybe some of them are not, but like if they're looking on the website and they're looking at homes and they're active, how are they not, like they're looking for help?
Yeah.
That's how I see it. And I think it's all about a mind shift switch
It
or
is.
mind shift where
Mindset.
it's like
Yeah.
my
Mindset
thing
shift.
is my job exactly. My job calling these leads and my ISAs are to literally build relationship.
Yeah.
That's all they're there for.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course I want to get deals done today, but it doesn't usually work like that. These leads are 3 to 18 months out. So if you nurture
Mm-hmm.
them and you do well, you'll start seeing that cycle where, okay, finally 6 months has happened. Here's 5 deals. Okay,
Yeah.
if you keep doing it, the most important part is when you're busy, you're still calling.
Yeah. And it's, yeah, it's consistent follow-ups with them. I found, like, talking to someone who I'm like, you've got active leads in here. You marked them as this, and knew the story of everyone. So, but your follow-up, you've marked them as this, but I don't see follow-up in here. Well, I don't want to be bothering them. I said, well, you shouldn't feel that you're bothering them because you're not trying to sell them, right? You're building a relationship here. So your check-in doesn't have to even be real estate related, so to speak. It's just keeping yourself top of mind and making sure that there's that relationship, that's steady, right?
Yes,
And so if you're feeling like you're bothering them, then you're probably trying to sell them, right? And
exactly.
and and so and if you any of you have that feeling, and you're kind of second guessing yourself on your follow ups, leave a little note for yourself what you talked about, what you should be, and what your next follow up could be, right? So that you don't second guess yourself when it comes to that time and be like, oh, I feel like, I just, reached out to them a couple of weeks ago, or I sent them texts. It's like, so if you're not doing it, somebody else is going to.
Exactly.
That's really what it comes down to.
And I think a few things is I just want to touch on that before going forward is number one, this is the secret. The secret to those leads, and I tell my team, is your goal is to keep people browsing online. What you want to do is, that active button where you see like how long someone's been active. Your goal is to get people, as many people as possible, 1 to 2 days out or hours in. Like your goal is just to keep them engaged. Because when they're engaged, whether they're working with you or not, they're engaged. There's an opportunity there. No one just looks for things if they're not ready to purchase or sell.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
So,
you can see their activity based on how often they're looking and how many times they're looking at each individual
exactly.
listing, right? It's their behaviors and the signals in the system that kind of indicate who may just be browsing through a
Of
listing
course. Of
and then
course.
who may be actively searching for something.
Of course. So
Yeah.
yeah, Donata, it looks like obviously, it's good that people are like messaging you back. If they're messaging you back, that means they like you in some sort of capacity. So, that's great. And obviously, yeah, like, we're busy with past clients and referrals for now too. But I mean, the agent locator, well, online leads in general and agent locator, like they're the deals that come through while you have that and while you don't have that. So these deals
Mm-hmm.
keep you consistent. Because
Yeah.
yeah, sure, you have past clients and referrals right now, but I'm sure if three other buyers were ready to go right now, I'm sure that you would take on with them.
Mm-hmm.
But it's good that they're being engaged. That's the most important part.
Yeah. They're replying to emails and asking
Yeah,
questions or just responding in general. That's a really good sign.
exactly. Now, is there any objections or any, kind of I wouldn't say problems, but any advice that you would want?
I have Jody here with a question on how to engage with people you've never spoken to. They don't answer your call, so you email or text them. How do you follow up with them?
So how do I follow up with them? It starts very simple. What I do is I look at, so here, let me share screen for a quick second. Let me go to Agent Locator. Sorry, guys, 1 second. So this is what I would do. Let's just say this guy. If you haven't chatted with them, okay, this is what I'm looking at. I'm looking at this stuff. Okay, they're looking at linked houses, semis, detached, in Clarington, Oshawa. So to connect with them is very simple. My script is basically, hey Dustin, hope you're doing well. It's actually Nick Moretti giving you a call. How you doing? Are you living the dream? Remember, as I say, like you have to be authentically you. Like I love to make people laugh. I'm chill, I'm comfortable, right? So usually they'll laugh at that. They'll give me a second. Okay, perfect. Well, hey man, hey Dustin, I don't want to take up too much of your time. I just want to let you know that I just want to thank you so much for visiting our website on MorettiRealEstate.com. And I just want to connect with you as a customer service role, just to make sure I'm sending you listings that you do want to see. I'm not sure if you know right now, but with the listings that are out there, it is more of a buyer's market right now. So you as a buyer, whether you're ready or not, you have a lot of opportunity in the pipeline. And my goal is just to make sure that I'm sending you that opportunity. Does that sound good? They usually say, okay. Then I go right into it. So I see that you're looking at linked and detached houses and semis between Clarington and Oshawa. Are those the areas that you're considering? Yes. Okay. Would you consider anything else? Maybe Whippy. Okay, awesome. Well, how many bedrooms are you looking for? 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms minimum. I always say that because, that's what usually most people are looking for. They might say 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, perfect, or 3 bedroom, 3 bathroom. Okay, awesome. Now, is there any certain features that you're looking in your house? Like, is there any, do you want a certain type of finishings? Do you want, new build? Would you mind, so you start asking them questions. And then as you're going through them, you start going, okay, perfect. Well, hey, just to make sure, have you been pre-approved? If they go no, well, hey, I totally understand you're in that information stage. Do you know the difference between, the different levels of mortgage advisors? So there's branch level, there's mobile specialists, and then there's mortgage brokers. Do you know the difference? If they say yes, great. If they say no, this is how it usually works. The mortgage, the ones that are at the branch level, they're great. However, the problem is, if they go away on vacation or whatever, the problem is that they're not always on top of it. Some people are, but some people are not. So, we have to make sure we're staying on top of them. You have a mobile specialist, which has a territory that works on commission. So those people, whether they're on vacation or not, they're going to make sure your deal goes closed or goes well. And then the mortgage brokers, instead of going to TD Bank, Scotia, and talk to all these reps, a mortgage broker shops, your options for you and comes back with the best rates and the highest pre-approval. I go
Yeah.
very in depth in education because that's how you build value and that's how you build relationship. Because no one's doing
Hmm.
this over the phone. I know they're
Yeah.
not. Okay.
Yeah.
So, after that, I just go, okay, perfect. Now, just to confirm, do you have to sell before you buy or do you have to buy? So many of you agents miss out all on these questions. Right? So,
Mhm.
oh, I need to sell. Okay, cool. Well, do you have an idea of what market value is for your house? Not really sure, not really thinking about it too much. Hey, I totally understand, right? Now, I mean, in this market, like I said, it is a buyer's market. There's tons of opportunity out there as well as information. So if you're looking to upsize right now, that gap between, being super expensive has now come down. So now it's going to be, a lot easier in terms of getting the, money off your property depending on what you want, as well as, selling your house for as much money in this market, right? But it's really important to understand your real estate equation. What is your real estate equation? Your real estate equation is what does it cost my house to, or what, how much can I sell my house and what does that leave me to buy? That's your real estate equation. And
Mhm.
without having, any mortgage agent, when you do get pre-approved, they're going to ask you in that equation, how much can your house sell for? Right. So this is why, I understand that you're not ready yet, but it's very important to do a home assessment. It's complimentary, but it allows me to give you more information. I do come with a booklet that gives you market stats as well as recent comparables to showcase where it's at. And obviously, I do have a range, so this can help you a little bit more. But I think this is a great opportunity. Are you around sometime next week or the week after? Right. So, I
Mhm.
mean, I'm sure most of you guys and girls are not doing that.
Yeah. It's offering the guidance and just opening up the conversation based on what they've been looking at, and we're really just trying to determine where they're at in the process, what their motivated factors are, and what we could be doing to help position them based on those timelines and motivations, right? And so the more knowledge you have in the market, in the services that they need to do, what they need to be doing in next steps as far as aligning with any kind of timelines, that builds confidence in the lead that you're speaking with.
Exactly.
Being passive and just saying, okay, well, if you see anything, just let me know, or I might check in with you periodically, which you will be. But giving them, firm, I'll check in with you in a few months or next week, just to make sure I'm sending you the listings you want to be seeing. So you're setting an expectation right away, regardless of those timelines, right? And we want to be
Exactly.
detailed with what we're doing.
Exactly.
Teresa says, I have one lead who's got 10%, but is waiting to get the 20% down. How do I convince them to buy now? Family income is over 220K and they're looking for a house that's about 800K.
Yeah. So I'll tell you what I would say. So basically, totally understand. This is where I would tell them my personal story. Okay. So hey, so I totally understand you want to get 20% and not get the CMHC, fee and stuff. However, did you know with CMHC you end up getting a better interest rate because you're insured? That's number one. Number two, when I purchased, I actually only purchased with 5% down. So, back in 2019, I bought something for 510, which is amazing, right? Now, if I waited to get 20%, do you know how much my cost would, because it was 2019. So 2020, 2021, the same house would have been 800,000. So you waiting cost you in equity over 150, 200K if I waited. Thank God I didn't,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, that's what I would be explaining. Like, if you're ready to go now, you're in a buyer's market. We haven't been in a buyer's market in years, 5 years. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So why would you want to waste this opportunity? Because the market will start heating up. And once it goes up, you're going to be wishing you bought when you bought. So that's what I would be saying, Murtaza. Now's the time to get your conditions in. Like, having a little bit more time in finance conditions because they are going to 7 days, some of them, right? So, and then I would ask them, is it because you're not seeing the products that you like, or are you trying to wait to get more money? But remember, if you wait to get more money and you're putting 20% down, you're still going to be at the same number. So, I mean, and by the time you get that other 10%, if you don't mind me asking, how long would that take you? A year? Maybe a year and a half? So you're gonna choose to take the risk and wait that long when the market is telling you to buy now because you can get a really good competitive price and conditions in right now.
And the product they might be looking for won't exist if they wait, right? It's just like
Yeah.
now what they're looking for, where they're looking for it is just not too far to reach.
Yeah. I would say 6 months to get another, you can, but the market's going to change. Like we're going into the new year, and the lowest point of inventory is January, February, and this is where usually prices push up, and that's the most recent comparable. So,
Mm-hmm.
I think that they need to be buying ASAP, but I don't think that they're educated to do so. I think that you need to go deep, Murtaza, and you need to find out what the real pain point is. It's not the other 10%. I wonder if they got the other 10%, if their purchase price is going to be higher.
Jody's asking, how often would you reach out to someone you haven't been able to talk to? I know it's quite often to begin with, but over the next couple of months, year.
I think it comes down to getting them active on your website. If they're active on your website, I would just touch base with them a little bit more frequently. If they're
Mm-hmm.
not, I would be trying to, build relationship and getting them, on a better list that they find value in, whether it's sale, um, listings email, or maybe like, how to get, a buyer guide or a seller's guide or a community guide. I think that what we
Mm-hmm.
forget to do is like, if someone's looking to move in Bowmanville, it's really good to have like a community guide about educating people on what to do when they're there. Because
Yeah.
remember, like they're in decision time. If you can show value and do things differently than any other agent and give them more information, feel confident, 9 times out of 10, they will use you.
Yeah. Yeah. And really if they're active and you haven't spoken to them and you're seeing those spikes, it's being creative as well, sending listings back to them that they may have looked at a few times or maybe liked the listing. But if they are active and we haven't had a conversation, we should be trying to call them, every couple of days, if not every day, until we can get that person on the phone so you know where they're at in the process and what, kind of spikes that interest in real estate and why they're browsing so often now.
100%. I just think you have to just think about what are people doing and how can I be different? Because
Mm-hmm.
remember, to stand out to be remembered, you have to be different.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't think we have any other question. Anyone have any additional questions or scenarios that they're dealing with their?
come up and give me objections. Let's see if I'm good. Any objection that you are facing, right? And like in our office, they do give you like an absorption calendar kind of thing. And between November 10th and the 16th, there was only 18 sales in Pickering, two between 7:50 to 8, two between 8 to 8:50, two between 8:50 and 9, one between 9 and 9:50, and then like a couple sales from 1 to 1 2.
Mm-hmm.
So this tells you that listings are dying to have buyers in and they're ready. I saw something in Newcastle, double car garage house. Look at this. It was a power of sale. It sold. It was listed for a mil. It sold for 800. If I knew that, I would have bought it for myself. There's so many good deals out there.
Mm-hmm.
50. But if you have any questions, let me know while I'll show you this. And I think it's like, think about something different. If you have someone looking in an area, why don't you show them the most recent sales and the biggest negotiated price
Mm-hmm.
so they can see and get more motivated, right?
Yeah. I think right now the market with how slow it is, and we're seeing listings coming up, and everyone kind of knowing it's a buyer's market. What we're working with is potentially more sellers that are in situations where they are motivated to sell. They have to be selling. They're not moving because they just feel like it.
Exactly.
Right. So using that as an advantage for your buyers is huge right now.
Exactly. I'm just gonna try to see where was it? It was just happened yesterday. Was it Bowmanville? But yeah, that's there's tons of stuff out right now. And I
Oh.
challenge people to look at their list. Look at this one. This is one that just sold. Look, listed for 1 million, sold for 800, a 4-bed, 4-bath with over 2,500 square feet above ground. Bro,
Hmm.
this is a deal.
Yeah.
This is someone that moves in, upgrades the space, and once the market's hot in a couple years, you sell it, and now you're in a 1.4, 1.5 with very little
Yeah.
mortgage.
Hmm. No, it's not very often you can find something like that for 800,000. So yeah.
That's crazy.
Hmm.
Yeah, sure, you change the carpet, whatever, whatever. You're getting such a good deal, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah. And this is someone whose budget could have been in the million mark range, right? And so they're like,
100%.
okay, they just spend the money to upgrade it.
100%. Like, I'm
Mhm.
shocked. But this is another reason why you don't rent your property out. This is clearly tenanted property.
Mhm.
So, anyways,
Martez is just asking, what is the GST rebate on a new home uh, sales for first-time home buyers, and when is it effective from?
no idea.
No, they just launched a rebate for that, but I know I read about it. Yeah.
ChatGPT. My people are not buying new builds. I feel like right now new builds are
Risky.
too risky.
Yeah. Donata has her hand up. Did you want to talk, Donata? I'll allow you to talk just in case for objection. Maybe you want to role play with Nick here for your objections.
Sorry, I guess can you guys hear me now?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I had a question. I had a guy phone me call me. I guess he saw my sign because I just sold a house.
Okay.
And he's like, "Well, I have land for sale. Do you have any clients for me? I want this much." I'm like, "Okay, well, how?" But then I asked him, I'm like, "Well, did you want me to put it on MLS? Did you want me to list it?" He's like, "No, I don't want a real estate agent." How can
So
you
I think
convince
like
that?
I think that it comes down to a little bit of scripting first before you go into the kill, right? A lot of people when they hear that, they go and they start asking about, "Oh, do you want to be on MLS? Do you want to, those
Hmm.
people who are asking those are people that don't want to pay commission, but they want top dollar for their house.
Well, exactly.
Right? But it's the way that you do it. So, hey Donata, thanks for reaching out about a property that an opportunity that you have. Like it was land for sale, was it right?
Yes, exactly. And I actually have a few clients that are interested.
Okay, so this is what I would be doing. I'd be like, hey, yeah, thanks so much for reaching out to me. As you saw, we sold 123 Main Street. We did a great job on that, so I appreciate you. I definitely know the market. So can you give me more details about your land? The parcel of land that you're trying to sell. Yeah, okay, cool. It's an acre. What is it? Did you know? Do you know?
Actually, I didn't ask him too many
That's
questions.
your
That's
problem.
my problem. Yeah.
That's your problem. You get too happy that a lead came in. So what you need to do is, and I would call him back, like, well, depending on how you left that conversation, but basically how I would say is like, so yeah, so can you give me a little bit more information about your parcel of land? How big is it? What's the frontage? What's the depth? Where is it? Does it have any wetlands on it? Right? What's the address? Then as I'm on the phone, if I'm near my computer, I'll take the
Hmm.
address down, I'll take a look at it, and I'll bring it up on Geo and I'll take a look. I'll be like, okay, no problem. So
Well,
hey,
I'm familiar with it because like I it's just down the road, so I passed it by so many times. But yes, I will call him back and I will ask him more questions for sure because I have his number.
well, if you know where it is, then just Geo it, the parcel of
Okay.
land, right? Just so you, because How I do things is I come prepared. I do my homework. So even though the lead hasn't told me anything about the property, I've already done my homework. So when I'm talking, I say, yeah, well, it looks like you have a 140 frontage with, 320 depth, which is pretty good actually. And they're gonna
Mm-hmm.
be like, how the hell do you know this? I never even told you where I am. That is the professional. You want to be a professional, right? So
Mm-hmm.
basically, I would just say like, okay, so great, tell me about it. Okay, you told me about it. Okay, awesome. Now, if you don't want me asking, what were you hoping? What was the price you were hoping to get?
475, he told me.
475. Okay, no problem. So the good thing is I do have buyers that are looking for that, right?
Mhm.
So the only thing is usually what I do for my clients is I like to go see the property and go on the land, see what's out there, send some videos because I do have a bunch of people that actually are looking for that, not guaranteeing that they want yours, but at least this is a great way for you and I to meet and you can give me a little bit more history about the vacant land. When are you available?
Okay.
Do you see how I didn't even ask about listing?
Yeah, you just want to kind of
I
see
want to
him
go
face to
there. I
face.
want to
Yeah.
talk to them. I need to understand. Okay, now let's get into the nitty gritty now. Okay, we went to the property. I've seen it. Okay, so hey, I see that you're looking at 475. I think currently in this market, I think you're a little less, to be honest with you. I think you're more like a 425, 450. However, with land deals, there are different strategies that we would use to help you net a little bit more and get you a little bit more in this market, right? Now, if you don't mind me asking, how are you looking to move forward?
Okay.
No, let's role play. Ask me. Like be whatever.
What do you mean? How? Okay, I guess. Oh, he asked me for if you have any clients, just give me their phone number.
Sure.
I'm like,
Well,
okay.
I wouldn't be giving you my clients' numbers. They wouldn't respect that, meaning, they don't, privacy is just like in anything is important. If you went to go buy something from Bell and they gave a number to someone to call you to say, "Hey, I
Yeah.
know you're looking at this," would you not feel a little like invasive right there?
Yes.
So it wouldn't work like that. And also to my clients we have relationships with, they know I produce them deals that make them money, so they would want me to be involved to make sure that they're good.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So I wouldn't be able to just give you that. That's not how it works, and that's how most people wouldn't do it anyways. Now, this is the other thing is let's say you could get the number that you're looking for, right? But
Yeah.
you're off market. So you're just calling random people, random agents to see if they have deals, which is great on your end. However, let's say if you could get that by you finding all this, do you not think you would make more money by showing, you're calling 10% or less of people that have buyers for this? Now, if you were on the market and you showed 100% of buyers, do you think that you probably would get more money?
Well,
Right.
yeah, of course, because you
Of
might get a
course.
bidding war.
Of course. Or not even a bidding war, but you have more, buyers that are looking on the property rather than random calls that you're getting. Right.
Mm. Yep.
So why don't I propose this? Why don't you give me a 60 days? Either let's do it either exclusive or on MLS. I recommend to go on MLS just because now we can have all the buyers out there. You know what I mean? That can see it. And at the end of the day, if I'm able to get you what you want, would you be willing to work with one another?
Okay, yeah, that's a good one. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. So I just think that like people get so like excited when they see a lead and they want to go for the kill, but you can't go for the kill. You got to put the bait, right?
Yeah,
It's a
for
step,
sure.
right? And if you start going right into it, they're going to say no to you.
I know I'm too quick sometimes, and I'm aware of it, and I'm working on it.
Yeah, but I think it's because you don't have a script. That's why.
Uh-huh.
Like when leads call me, like through our sales or whichever, I have a script that I know where I need to ask to make sure.
Well, I do have a script for buyers and tenants, for example, when I call them back. But I've never had anybody call me out of nowhere for land like that. This is my
Which is
first
great.
time.
And
So,
it's not going to be the first time that you're going to get other unknown calls like that, But it's important, like, and it doesn't matter on what the property you're selling or whatever. It's still
mm.
having like a call. So like when you were like not you, but when anybody used to work for a corporation, right? Did they not give you scripts of how to handle when people inbound call?
Yes, yes, they did. Yeah.
Right. So why aren't we doing the same? That's all I'm saying, not knocking nobody down. I'm just saying, like, it's important to have a script and know where you're going, because on the fly, especially when you get a random call while you're driving or you're walking somewhere, you really need to lock in. So it's
100%.
really important to get that, because sometimes you only get one shot,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes.
And it's important before you do any of that to meet the client. So go see the land, go see them.
Okay. Sounds
you
good.
know so that's
Yeah.
what I would do, right? And but your conversation might be a little bit harder now, right? Because he doesn't want to pay anything. He's going to tell you that right off the gate, and I would just say no problem, I totally understand. But if I was able to bring you a buyer, how much commission would you pay?
Yep.
Because you're going to
Okay.
have to pay someone commission. And if you think that you are not going to, then I wish you good luck.
Yeah,
Because
I'll just bring them
later,
somewhere.
well, no, because I would say, like, sooner or later you're going to get frustrated and you're going to hire an agent to actually get it done. So the question is do you want to get this done sooner and have money in your pocket, or do you want to keep diddly daddling? You let me know, because you called someone that closes deals and makes moves happen. So I'm ready to work. Just let me know when I can go to work. That's how I
That's
talk.
awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. It's just like the energy, right? You can hear on the way that I chat, like I'm ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
But it just comes from, like, years of just objections. But you're doing
Yeah, I'm
good.
a fairly new agent. That's why I've only been in the business for a year, so I'm still
Nice.
learning. There's so much to learn.
I know you're doing a great job though.
Well,
Just I
it's
would just say have scripts, role play
yeah.
with people, like, all that kind of stuff, because it makes a whole difference.
Hmm.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. And last thing too is, like, it's okay to say no to people, guys. I know we always want to say yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, I'm the worst at this. I actually don't say no. Well, I do only when people are really crazy. I can handle crazy. I can't handle crazy, crazy. So, you know what I mean? When you first start, you're like, give me all the craziness, right? But then, which is good because it teaches you a lot. But then once you get, a database, people you want to work with, and you have, referrals coming in and all that, now you can pick and choose who you want. And if you say no to people, people are like, you're saying no to me. You know how many agents beg me to work with them? That's different.
Mm-hmm.
So just keep in mind, it's okay to say no to people,
All
or to say,
right.
like, I don't think we're a good fit, right? So I've said that a few times to people, just like too crazy, crazy. But
So,
yeah, I appreciate you coming up. Do you have any other questions at all or anything at all?
I'm okay for now. Thank you, Nick. I don't want to take up the whole,
Oh, that's all.
session.
Okay, cool, no problem. So, Noel, so basically, if they have a bad number and you mark it bad in email and they've opted out, then I mean, I would just move on.
Yeah.
Remember,
Uh,
you're not going to get everybody.
you're going to archive that lead. There's no point in marking them in cold and then looking at them all the time. You can't communicate with them in any way, shape, or
No,
form,
no.
right? So it's just moving them to the archive. They're still there. So if, for whatever reason, it does happen sometimes, where people have opted out in the past, and or of emails, and then also you see they're active. It's They've either found an old email that you sent to them and clicked on it, and are now back on your website. Or if you're running ads or doing anything online, they've come across your ad and actually came into your site again, and the system remembers that they have an account when they go to plug that email in. So they're never actually deleted. Your leads are always in the system, because that does happen where somebody just all of a sudden starts looking at listings on your website, but they've opted out of everything. And remember, if they have a good phone number but have opted out of SMS, you can still call those people.
Yes. And let's go on that. Like, a script of that is like, hey, I saw that you unsubscribed. I apologize. I would just say, like, I'm sorry that you unsubscribed. Usually when we see people who unsubscribe, it's one of two reasons. One, they didn't get the item of value, or two, it was too frequent of, messaging out. Which one did you feel happened to you? That's it. And then, oh, well, the messages. Okay, well, I apologize for that. I can tone that down. However, we just want to connect with you to make sure that we're sending you listings that you do want to see. And then you go into that intro script. I saw that you're looking at homes in Clarington with 3 bedroom, 2 bathrooms. Are you only considering those? Now you're re-engaging with them. You're finding out. Okay, perfect. So what would be a time after you get their criteria? We'll message you monthly for now. And if anything changes, you let us know. If you see anything you like, please let us know, and we'll be happy to help you. Done. Done.
You got
Done.
to
Done.
remember, especially if you guys have good phone numbers, maybe they opted out of SMS, but maybe they opted out of the email. A lot of people, when they're signing up for services, they're kind of looking for something in that moment. They're going to various different websites. So they've now got, an inbox of 10 different emails from 10 different people, none of which they've actually communicated with. So what are they doing? They're clearing out their email by unsubscribing. So they don't know necessarily who they're unsubscribing from. It's just, I've got too many of these. I need to get rid of some of them. So, again, calling those unsubscribes and almost treating it like you don't even know that they've unsubscribed if they do it right away. Right? Talk to them about their search. Because you can easily resubscribe them in the CRM and then update their search and send them those listings. Follow up with a call or say, hey, I'll text you after. And you can text if they've opted out of SMS from the system, send the text from your main line. And just let them know I've just sent you the list of homes so that they can now associate that listing email with who they just spoke to.
Exactly. It's about being organized and just being scripted. No, I don't have any scripts that you can download. This is all just from me and my years of just head down calling.
And we
So
learn over time, but
yeah,
scripts are working.
I mean, I do coach agents, so I mean, if you're interested, just let me know on that. But other than that,
Yeah.
that's it. If do you guys have any other objections or anything at all that you have been facing or will be facing? I would love to actually, you know what? I would love to see if someone can handle this objection. Hey, so who wants to come up before I give you it? Who's brave enough?
Noel. Okay.
All
I'll do
right, let's
that.
go, Noel. All right. So this is the question. Hey, Noel, I really appreciate you reaching out and sending me listings. However, I do have another agent contacting me.
Okay, that's great to hear. You should interview more than one agent and make sure that you're a good fit.
Perfect.
It's really important that the two of you mesh together. And if
Can I help you?
you and I don't mesh, then we're not going to have a good relationship to start with.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they're okay.
I'll
Yeah.
follow up with you in the next day or two and see how things are going, and we can go from there.
So I love where you're going with it, but here's the growth that you can do here, okay? So let's replay this. So if Noel, can you say the same thing that I did?
Oh,
I'm gonna be the agent. You be the client
yeah,
telling me that, hey, I do have someone
yeah. Hey, I do have someone. Did you say that I'm working with, or
that I'm
that?
that I said that someone that's sending me listings, like sending me stuff.
Oh, I didn't hear that part. That you do have someone that's sending you. Oh, sorry, I misheard the question.
It's okay.
Um, I thought it was they do
Sure.
have.
We can still leave the agent, so no problem. Just say I have an agent.
Oh, um,
So just ask me, hey,
you,
I have an agent. That's all you have to say, and I'll take care of the rest for
oh,
you.
okay. Do you have a, can I ask, do you have a exclusive buyer's representation agreement signed with them?
No.
Okay. Um, so you're not committed to
Let
them.
me help you here, Noel, because you're doing a great job. You're doing a great job, and honestly, give people, everyone, give her a round of applause because she's doing a great job on that. But here's what I'm going to help you, navigate a little bit easier, because I know that you're thinking off the fly, which is amazing. But let me give you a little bit of scripting here to help you nail down. So when someone tells me, "Hey, I'm working with an agent," he'd be like, "Oh, that's amazing. Well, I'm glad that you have someone that is sending you info and stuff like that. Quick question: do you have anything signed with them?" So I love the first question that you ask because that's the right way, right there. So,
Okay.
you just be like the lead, and I'll be the agent. So, do
Oh,
you have
right.
anything signed with them?
No.
Okay. So, first off, it's really good that, you connect with a few other agents. Clearly, you have someone that's been sending you things. Now, if you don't mind me asking, do you think that they're sending you, just general list, or are they sending you some opportunities, on the market and off the market?
Um, they're sending me a few that I like, but it's mostly garbage. It's like way off from what I'm really looking for.
Yeah. And the unfortunate part is sometimes, based on the inventory in the market, yeah, that does happen. However, also, it also depends on the agent that you're working with. For us, we really listen to our clients on what they're looking for. And our list that we send them two lists. One's a general list of what you're looking for, and one's a handpicked list that showcases opportunity that I'm literally handpicking for you that I think is a good fit. Either it's on or off market, right? And since we do tons of business, we have lots of relationships with other agents that might have things coming to the market. So that's your competitive edge when you work with us. Now, curious, would you be open to a second opinion?
Okay.
Yeah. So what I'm
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, great. So I'm going to show you what we do differently. So what I'm going to do is I understand your criteria as we chatted before. I'm going to send you that list, and I'm going to also send you a handpick list. I am then going to circle back with you to tell you my top 5 picks. And if you like any of them and you like them more than 5 out of 10 or 6 out of 10, let's go see it.
Oh, okay. Well, I just kind of started looking like I just went, oh, just a sec. Let me rephrase that. You're saying let's go look at them.
I'm just saying if
Okay,
you see
well,
anything you like, let's just go see it. Yeah.
yeah, I just kind of started looking and I'm not really ready to go and look at houses.
Yeah.
I want to look at listings more, and get a better feel. Haven't, you know, I don't know. I'm just not ready to go and look at houses.
Yeah, I totally get that, Noel. And sorry if you felt that I was going a little too forward. I was just letting you know that, if you do see anything you like, I would say let's go see it because yes, you're in the information stage, which is great. And I understand that the information stage can take 3 to 18 months. So I understand that. I'm not here to hound you in any way or form. However, as you mentioned, you would love to see more opportunities, that someone like myself can showcase to you. Because if you did come across a listing and you did really like it, would you consider seeing it?
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's all I'm saying. So let me just do this for you. Let me send you these lists, and I'll keep every week sending you, a handpicked list with my top 5. And if you do stumble across something that does make sense for you and you want to see, remember, just because we go see it doesn't mean we have to put an offer in, right? Like I'm
Right.
more than, happy taking you out, meeting you in person. You sound super cool. It sounds like we're a great match in terms of, client and agent relationship. So I
Well,
want
yeah,
to
of course.
yeah, and I just want to make sure that I serve you at your highest need and showing you opportunities in this marketplace because right now there's tons of opportunity, and whether you're ready or not, I know that if I was in your shoes, I would want to know what's happening.
Okay, that sounds cool.
Cool.
Um, I have
And that's
a
it.
question.
Yeah.
If I call you, are you going to answer your phone? Because I have a lot of agents that, I've tried out and they never answer their phone or emails. I just keep getting voicemail.
That's crazy. So I apologize on behalf of my colleagues that that has happened. But the good news, Noel, is that you've connected with an agent that's going to lead with your best intentions first. And I also work. So if you message or call me, yeah, I will 100% answer. Will I answer all the time? Might not, but you will get a text message within at least an hour or two for sure. If I've missed your call, I've just probably in an appointment or dealing with an offer.
Awesome. That's exactly what I say.
Yeah, great job. So that's pretty much it. Like it's all about asking about second if they have anything signed, and if not, it's free game. You want to ask if they're open to a second opinion.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was trying to go with it, but then I got your question mixed up in my head.
It's all
It
good.
didn't go the way I planned, but what you said is exactly what I do. That's what I would have said.
You crushed it. I know you are. You're a rock star.
Oh, so are you, Nick.
Just trying to beat you, Noel.
Oh, you're awesome.
Yeah. So if thank you so much for coming up here. I appreciate that. Do you have any questions, or does anyone else on here want to come up and either objection handle or give me objections that you may be facing to make, the lead gen a little bit easier?
There is a question from Marsha. It's like, what if you're not doing a ton of business, but want to showcase you know what you're talking
Sorry, say that last
about?
that last question again.
What if you're not doing a ton of business, but want to showcase that you know what you're talking about? I guess if you're talking in your scripts, and whether in any situation, to make
You can talk about your
the
brokerage. You don't have to talk about yourself. And I think that I only say that to build rapport, right? And whether or not you're doing tons of deals, like no one would really know. So I mean, you could say the same thing, right? And then bring your brokerage deals out. And I think,
mm,
it's if you know your stuff and it sounds good, then I mean, you're doing a great job. But on the other end, what you're doing, this is like if I get a hold of someone over the phone, this is what I'm doing. And usually like 8 out of 10, I'm gonna take them. So, it's kind of like one of those things where, because remember, whoever goes on your website is also going on two or three other ones as well, unfortunately, right? So the good part is that if you stand out and you build relationship, they're not going to go on other people's website. They're either going to just go on realtor.ca, Zolo, and or your website to keep browsing homes, which they should be doing. You should be telling them to do that, whether downloading the app or whatever, right? So,
mm.
yeah.
Jody says she asked us if they had an opportunity to put any offers in yet to try to determine if they actually have an agent. Right? So
Yeah,
that's a great way. It's a roundabout way. So sometimes an
same
indirect
thing.
question. Right? Have you gone to see any homes yet, or are you just primarily looking online? So there's different ways, and being creative, so you're not sounding like every other realtor. Do you have an agent? Do you have
Mhm.
an agent? Do you have an agent?
But I also think
Um,
too, the way that they talk, you'll know if they're putting offers in or not. I find.
mm-hmm,
Obviously,
mm-hmm,
yeah, there's always that 1 out of 10 that just is super low key and is just blatantly lying to you. Like it
yeah.
is what it is, right? So
Yeah. Michelle is saying the answer like, I'm just looking, they're not ready now. A great question is, Michelle, is like, so what has to happen in order for this move to happen for you guys? Right. So asking a really open-ended question, the lead will generally tell you why they're just looking. Right. Because just looking doesn't mean that they are, just browsing, with no intentions to buy. There's some level of intent. We just have to determine what that is, and what's holding them back from moving forward right now, and have them looking in the future.
exactly.
If buyers not willing to sign a BRA, should we show properties in person?
Okay, so this is a great one. So if I know that they have an agent or they're looking with agents, I'm 100% getting the BRA sign. If they don't want to get the BRA sign, then that means they're working with someone already. Or you can risk it and try taking them out once. So how's it look? So let's say if I know that they're chatting with other agents. So hey Crystal, I totally understand that you've been going out with other agents and you're telling me that you haven't signed with anyone, which is great. So it looks like you're still, interviewing other agents, seeing who's the best fit and can show you the best opportunity. Now, if I was able to show you the best opportunity and we were a fit, would you consider working with one another?
Sure.
Okay. So I see that you want to go book a few showings, on 123 Main Street and 345 Main Street. No problem. This is how we usually work, especially, now I know that you're, we're looking with agents, which is totally respectable. Now, what I've learned in the past is that I've showed people houses that told me they didn't have any agents. And next thing you know, I saw that same property sell with that buyer because I can see who, closed on the property, right? Based on my information. So this is how I usually structure my business going forward when, people are looking at other, properties with other agents. I'm not scared of competition. So just letting you know, but I think it's important that you are respected and I'm respected. Would you agree?
Yes.
That's how we make a relationship. So generally, how we would work is if you want to go see these properties, what we would do is I would just need a document just saying that on this property that I show you, if you choose to move forward, you have to work with me on it. So this means that if you don't like me and you hate me, or you're not going to hate me, I'm pretty cool. But let's just say, if you didn't like me or any of that, then, you're not tied to me on anything else. You can more than happy go on other properties with other agents. However, on this one, you have to work with me on. So are you ready to move forward? I can book the showing on Friday. Are you available?
Yeah, it sounds fair.
Okay. Now say no.
No.
No, you're not ready to sign. Okay,
No.
well, hey, curious. Usually the agents, like I've been doing this for 10 years, right? And I've gone through so many people being top in Canada. We go through so many clients and prospects. Now, generally, I've learned that if someone's not willing to sign, it's because they're already signed and represented by another agent. Is that you?
Yes. Yeah, I have something signed. I don't know exactly
Yeah.
what the details are.
Yeah. So then it sounds like you're working with an agent. Have you signed something called a BRA, which is a buyer representation agreement?
I think so.
Yeah. Do you want to look at that? Do you have access to your email right now? Can you pull it up and see what the expiry date is and what they put down on it?
Okay.
So, anyways, I
Yeah.
just go a little bit more, but generally, like, that's what it is. And
And you
let's
can ask them what has you searching and contacting other realtors to show you how when you are,
exactly.
exclusively signed with someone, like what has you reaching out to somebody.
Exactly. And like I would even say let's just do the third one of like, no, I'm actually not signed with anyone, but I don't like to sign with anyone until I find the house. So that's the objection you're giving me, right?
Mm-hmm.
So be like, hey, I totally respect that. However, I generally find that if you're not willing to sign, because I know if I was looking for something and I'm just signing on that property and I have no other attachments to, then that basically tells me that like, you're willing to work with someone else. If you're not, whether you're not looking to sign or not, when this is a standard thing, it tells me that you're lying to me. Sorry, And if you take
Mm-hmm.
offense to that, I apologize. But I've been doing this so much that if someone's really fighting me on this, they are generally working with someone or will be working with someone.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, do you think it's fair for someone to go do the work? And let me ask you a question. You go to work, right?
Yeah.
Cool. So it's payday today. How do you feel that someone else got paid for all the hard work that you've done? Would you feel good about it?
Probably not.
Yeah. So that's the same way in real estate. And that's why I'm educating you. So I'm more than happy to move forward if you want to. If not, I wish you the best.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think those are respectful ways. If someone gets offended by that, then they're just getting angry just to get off the call.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Yeah. If now, hold on. Now, if I know that I built a relationship and they want to go see a property, I'm not even talking about the BRA.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you why. If they're messaging you about properties, if they're messaging you about properties, go see them. That is called implied relationship. So if I tell you, Crystal, hey, I want to go see this property on Friday, are you available? And you tell me yes, but we need to sign a BRA. To me, that just means that you don't trust me and that relationship doesn't have trust. So now you lost me. And I've
Mm-hmm.
had that in
Yeah.
the past.
And he's speaking about, for all those watching, he's speaking about somebody that he's been already in a lot of communication back and
Exactly.
forth, not just some random, person
Exactly.
that just happens to reach out, or that one-off lead that books a showing without any
Exactly.
communication on your website. Yeah.
So that's it. Well, I hope you all have a great day. You are all
Mm-hmm.
superstars. Go out there. We have what, 4 days left of November,
Oh my God.
which is
Don't,
crazy.
I know.
So make sure you're calling, you're touching base with people, your clients, agent locator leads, anything. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to let you know the mindset. Like people are out there doing deals right now.
Yeah.
People are out there doing deals.
Yeah.
So they want your help. You just need to connect with them. So
You
make
gotcha.
sure you connect with them. Make sure you keep their list, up to date and send them things that they want to see because that is what's going to get you to win.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Other than
Awesome.
that, I hope everyone has a great day. Okay.
You bet. You too. Thanks, Nick.
Bye.
Bye, guys.